Alright folks, welcome back. In true Sailwind fashion, I have loaded up the game after my Shipwreck Shawn break, and we are battling some hefty seas here. So I don't think I'll be getting much fishing, perhaps not even using any navigational instruments either. I'm just battling the sea here, trying to keep us on course. I have taken down one of the jibs because in the 20 seconds or so that I have played before pressing record, the boat was looking an awful like it was going to capsize. The waves have actually calmed down a little bit, but they're still not massively groovy. I have taken some notes for celestial navigation, so I have those in front of my face now, and I have organised the links in the background so that we may go over those should the weather become a little bit better for sailing and for letting go of the helm. Oh shit boy, I hope my bread's okay. So yeah, we're straight in the thick of it now. It's probably some of the most difficult seas I have sailed in this game. And there's not even a storm. And I can't even let go of the helm right now to touch wood for good luck, considering I've just said storm. So everyone touch wood for me if you can. But for now, I'm just trying to keep things generally straight. I've realised that I don't need to worry, I guess, so much about keeping latitude, because as long as I can work out my longitude, when I get to the point where I'm about, 4 degrees, I can start thinking about working out my exact latitude there and then adjusting my position so that I can head towards Dragon Cliffs. So for example, if I stray completely southward, all I need to do is check my latitude, and if I'm not on the correct line, just wait until the longitude is kind of at 5 degrees and head northwards. And obviously vice versa if I stray northwards. So I can't believe I'm about to say this word, but I'm feeling confident in that I now have a little bit of leg room for error. But that doesn't mean we're going to try and stray away from the the usual professional perfection that you're used to here at Shipwreck Shawn, because ultimately I don't want to have to do any of that I mentioned, but it is an option and it is available to me should it come to it. Right, I'm going to dare let go of the helm and just see how she handles on her own. So I've let go now. In fact, I should probably take a food and water break whilst I'm at it. Have a little look around, make sure there's no storms coming. Oh, and also off camera, I had a little bit of bread, of course. Okay, she's keeping her course pretty well. Turn on the lantern because it is getting a little bit scary out there. That's a moon. For a second I thought the moon was land, and I thought surely not. Unless that's like a secret island I don't know about. And what time is it? It is actually creeping up to 7 o'clock. So I'm going to take an immersion breaking pause, and we're going to head over to Milnead. So actually, if I open this tab here, this is the Sailwind wiki. And if I scroll along to, where is it now? Measuring stars at set times. You can see it gives us three to work on for now. I'm sure there's more and there's constellations to look at, but this will do. We've got at 7 PM, we have Milnead. I think I might have said that in a previous episode and not got it wrong. We'll see. We have at midnight, Witena or Witena, whatever you wish. And then at exactly 5:20 AM, we have Oriens. So as we're coming up for 7 o'clock, we'll go for Milnead, which I have conveniently waiting for us here. And you can see that when we look direct west at 7 o'clock, Milnead should be at about a northeasterly direction from that western point. So I guess using the actual compass, that would be west-southwest, I guess. So just a touch more south than west is on the horizon. And I think it'll be the only star north. And then we're going to get out our quadrant, focus completely on Milnead, scroll down to here, and we have this convenient chart here, which also I've noted down on my notepad so I don't make too many immersion breaking pauses. And as you can see, you know, if we did this at Gold Rock, where we're at -5, Milnead should read 20 degrees on the quadrant when we're staring directly at it. So that's the logic behind it. We'll have to put it into practice. I believe we got to about, yes, we're at about -3. So it should be anywhere between 18 degrees and 17 degrees, because maybe being a bit too hopeful here, but I think we might have passed -3. So I will wait until exactly 7 o'clock. I'm going to get my quadrant at the ready, and we'll give that a little go. So we're going to find exactly west. Stand on this crate here so we've got a bit more vision. So we are facing perfectly west. I think that might be Milnead there. So we're going to wait for 5 minutes to 7, and then we'll set up our quadrant quickly. So I would say now is a good time to drop the clock. Stare at Milnead. Keep it on as best as we can. And that looks to me like it is about 18 or 19 degrees. It's quite hard to get a fully accurate reading. 5, 10, 15... Yeah. So the longer line to the left of the marker is 15. And then the shorter line to the right of the marker will be 20. So we're about 18, 19. So it's not the most accurate, but it's something, it's another aid we have to help us. So I'm quite happy that that seemed to go generally okay. With that in mind, I'm going to take a little, in fact no, I think I might wait a little bit actually into the night, get a bit more tired and see if I can sleep right through. We're generally keeping our course. It's not an exact science here. I suppose I'll have a couple of slices of dried bread, because I'm really worried that there's some sort of system where if you get the... I can't find... There we go, there's one. That there's some sort of system where if we bring water on board, it might ruin all this. I'm not entirely sure. But there we go, our hunger bar is matching our thirst bar. And I do like it when things match. So it is only 8 o'clock, which is, I suppose, a respectable bedtime. But we are nighthawks here at Shipwreck Sean, which I know is going to be hard to believe considering all I seem to do in this game is nap. I do wish it was the same in real life. I have a pretty shocking sleeping pattern in real life. Maybe it's because I play these immersive games up until the silly hours. Maybe that'll do it. But that's part of the fun. That's part of the spice of life. Jeb's doing okay. I'm not going to make any micro adjustments, I don't think. Famous last words, of course. These waves seem to be knocking us off our perfect course. quite drastically and quite often. I can pull the gaff in. In fact, before I do that, we'll face us directly east, and then I'll check the marker again. Right after saying I'm not going to make any micro adjustments. Get us facing east. Quick look. Yeah, we can bring that gaff in just, just a micro amount. And since this vessel has a tendency to turn to south, I'm considering maybe locking the helm a touch to port whilst asleep. But every time I've done that in this game, it has bit me in the stern. So maybe not. As you can see, we've just got the one jib at the moment. Maybe it's better to release the larger jib actually. So we're going to haul up the smaller one, or the inner one. Wait until that furls up. There we go. And we will release the winch for our larger one. And we're immediately turning to port, I feel, as we've done that. Which means it seems to be doing its job. I've just realised I'm not entirely sure how to use the North Star for celestial navigation. I was ranting and raving about it in the first few episodes, but that was really just to get a habit of it. So I should look that up as well, because then we'll have 4 stars to aid us. Okay, we've got east. So let's see. She is turning to port, we think, but that could be because the swell of the ocean is pushing us in that direction. And now she seems to be ever so slightly turning to starboard after that tiny little adjustment of the sheet. So I'm not going to swear it too much. I think I'm going to go for a little nap. I'll be back in a jiffy. Alright, woken up halfway through our nap. We're keeping that slight heading north of east, so I'll make a little adjustment. As I was napping, I just realised that what I should have said whilst I was yapping on about Milnead is when I mentioned 19 degrees, that means about -4. So we thought we were at -3, which I still think we are. I think I'm just struggling to read the quadrant, but we know we are roughly around this area. So the bonus is we're not at 20 degrees for Milnead or -5 longitude. So we know we're going in the right direction. We know that at the very least. I'm really not so great at upwind sailing. I'm learning that. I just can't keep am I controlling the right? There we go. If I ease up on the jib sheet, it might just control our slight turn northward just a little bit. What time is it? It is 3 in the morning. I suppose we could wait until 20 past 5 to do our reading of Oriens, since we have missed the midnight reading. But I think I am more concerned with napping through the night and getting to noon, because I believe our clock reading is just a tad more accurate. Okay, we will leave her on her own for a second just to see how she handles the direction for now. And we're going to stock up our bellies and bladders, being sure now to balance out our water. Okay, that'll do for now. Hunger-wise, we don't seem to have a vitamin deficiency yet, but it'll come. So we're going to rummage through our bread slices, see if we might find some dried bread. There we go, there's one. As I say, my diet is better in real life. Maybe not much better, but oh. I think you can toast bread in this game, maybe with the smoker, etc. I was going to get the oven and smoker, drying rack and all the rest of it, but it seems a bit much considering the limited space we have in the Doubt. So my ungodly pile of bread seems to be the better option for now, assuming we don't have any trouble with it. Where's all the dried bread? I think all the dried bread is underneath this pile. I didn't expect to have to deal with this, but looking back, of course I would have to deal with this. I suppose this is... I can't select this. Okay. To those of you who tuned in for Celestial Navigation, you're just going to have to wait, because right now it's ungodly bread time. As always, I always put chapters in my episodes, so I'll have a chapter specific for each star that I'm able to look at in this episode. Hopefully we can look at them all. Okay, that's enough rummaging for now. And she has turned ever so slightly southward. So pull the sheet in a touch, but not too much. Readjust course and see how she handles that. And I can see on the clock that we're reaching about 4:30. We're coming up for 25 past, or no, past now. Oh, shia boy. I can say, so what I'm saying there, YouTube, before you get me in trouble, is oh, shia boy. I don't think they say it anywhere else but Scotland. It's spelled O-A-S-H-A. S-H-Y-A, sorry. Oshia. You say it when you're shocked at something. Okay, I think she's holding her course a lot better now. Maybe if I just keep yapping absolute nonsense, it seems to calm our Bonnie here. Whilst we're at it, I'll see... In fact, no, we're getting close to 20 past 5. So, immersion, braking, pause again. Oriens. So, Oriens, we're going to look dead east at 20 past 5. And it should be just north of east on the horizon. And we'll come to our graph afterwards. So just north of east on the horizon at 20 past 5. Trying somewhere I can get a good view without getting soaked. Okay, it's coming up for 5 past. Put the clock back this time so I don't want to drop it. We are looking dead east and it would be just north of east. So that might be Oriens there. It is now 10 past 5. Quarter past 5. So 5 more Sailwind minutes, which is really just a few seconds. Okay, we're pretty close now. So there we have Oriens. Focus on that. Oh. And that looks to me like it's 3 maybe just above 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll say 3 or just above 3. Okay, what do we do with that information? I'm not going to pause this time, I'm just going to let her do her thing. So, I don't know how right that is, because 3 would tell us, and then just past 3 would tell us we're at -1, so again, it's not fully accurate. But I think we're about circa -2 in latitude, which would mean we've done pretty well from -3. But I'll cross-reference that with our noon reading before I leave a marking on our interactive map. Hopefully we make it. I don't think I'll make it to noon without needing another little nap. But a quick check of the interactive map. As you can see, I've put EP1 there. If you are watching my big long episode that I'll upload in the future, don't pay much attention to this. But yep, EP1, that's where we got. And we made it across 2 points of longitude, so I suppose there's no reason as to why we haven't made it to -2. But as I say, I'll cross-reference with my chronometer later on. So what would we like to achieve in this episode? Well, I would like to, as I say, have a wee check at the 3rd star, which will be midnight. And I would like to plot at least 1 more point on our interactive map. So she's holding east kind of well, so I'm going to go for a danger nap and hopefully not sleep past noon. Or perhaps I can make use of... So if I use the energy elixir, everything will boost and I will be wide awake and hunger and thirst sorted for a while. Or if I use the snake oil, I believe it sorts your hunger and thirst whilst depleting your energy pretty badly actually. So what would I like to do with that? Nah, I think if we sleep now, we should roughly wake up before noon. We could use a bit of a stronger angle of our gaff, so I'm just pulling in the sheet a little bit. Which will of course turn us slightly to south, so I'm going to oversteer. Oversteer, come out here, and also I'm going to tighten our jib just for stronger winds in our head sail, and then have a wee check at that. If she doesn't turn too drastically on her own, it is nap time for Shipwreck Sean. That was a big old turn, but it could be the wave. And that was a slight turn to north. I don't think the turns balance each other out, but close enough for me. See you guys shortly, hopefully before noon. Okay, we have woken up. And it's actually just about to hit noon. That couldn't have went any better even if I tried. So we'll focus completely on noon, and then we will wait until the sun hits local south for us with the compass, and then we will check the clock. So that looks to be about now, and it was 5, 6, maybe about 6 minutes past. Maybe we'll say 8, because now it seems to be a bit more centred. So 8, I think that confirms our suspicions that we were on the -2 point of longitude. So we will go to our interactive map. We're somewhere on this line in terms of longitude. And I think I'll have a quick go at the sun compass. I don't think it's too long past. And that looks to be about 31, 32. So 32 lat, -2 longitude, roughly. So 32 lat would actually bring us up here somewhere. So that's not great. Can we be totally sure about that? I suppose it is past noon. So our shadow is not going to be perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it does look like it's about 2. So maybe we've gone too far north. I'm not sure. So, oh, I'm going to dead reckon us to maybe somewhere about here. And hopefully we've not drifted too much. So, what I was saying earlier is, I mean, 2 is actually still fine because we'll still see Newport and Dragon Cliffs when we arrive, but we really don't want to go too much further north from 2. But I'll take that for now. We're still heading in an easterly direction, and she's holding very well now. Maybe when we're going downwind, we just don't use both jibs, because that seems to be paying off. So yeah, so far we've used the chrono compass. For those of you just checking in, actually, I should explain again that for every 4 minutes past 12 on the clock, if you match that up with when the sun hits exactly south, then for each 4 minutes you are 1 negative point of longitude down from 0. I have not explained that very well at all, but basically 4 minutes past 12 would be -1 longitude, 8 minutes past 12 -2, 12 minutes past 12 -3, so on and so forth. And then obviously before you're entering the positive longitudes. So that's what we're hoping to get sooner than later. But so far I'm pretty happy with this. It is 2 PM. And I think with the energy we've got, we should make it to midnight to check our final star, Witena, which I'm not totally confident I'm pronouncing correctly. Suppose we'll go and rummage for some more bread. I can't wait for all this bread to be dry. That might make me even happier than finding Dragon Cliffs. Hi, I am Shipwreck Sean. Welcome to Pantry Simulator. Oh. Maybe they are dry, but then because the water's just covered them, they're just bread. Actually, I'm not going to be too precious about that. We're just going to eat some bread. Bread's bread, right? I'll maybe need to find a better bread inventory system, but I quite like the ungodly pile. Sorry to headphone users, if you're anything like me, then that sound in your headphones is very much akin to someone scratching a chalkboard. Do they use chalkboards still? To someone scratching a stainless steel knife on a plate. There we go, that's a timeless example. But yeah, still holding east pretty well. Maybe noon next time we will focus completely on our latitude. Or I suppose we can look at our North Star and check the angle of latitude on that. As I say, I just don't know how to use the North Star for longitude, if indeed you can. But now my brain has so many things to remember, I can actually feel it hurting ever so slightly. Right, we seem to be drifting slightly southwards, which tells me the wind is hitting our gaff. So I think if I open up the gaff a bit and then turn us eastward, she should hold a little bit better. But I think we know we're still within the sort of Alank Oceans because the wind is still very much behind us. I need to keep an eye on that actually, because on the interactive map you can see that very soon, if we did reach -2, the wind will be sailing downwind, which actually I think I prefer in terms of sail control. But we'll definitely lose a lot of speed on that. Speaking of, quick go on the chip log. We might have lost some speed since I'm just using one jib, but it's worth a wee look. And we are losing quite a lot of energy, so I'll go for a nap after this and then hold off until midnight. So speed wise, the pin is not dropping below 6, so we are roughly about the same as we have been doing. Maybe ever so slightly slower since the pin... Oh, I was just going to say since the pin is not hitting 8. But obviously caught it there. Oh, and we dropped right down. Okay. So that's okay. Nothing to cry about there. I'll just keep this on us. Keep all of our instruments on us at this point. How is she holding? She still wants to turn slightly to port, so we will pull in the sheet a bit more of our jib, so hopefully she will turn, sorry, to starboard, so hopefully she will turn to port or northwards. Oversteer a bit and see if she rights herself back to an easterly heading. Okay, she's not righting herself, but she's holding fairly well. So I'm going to take a... Oh, she is going southward slightly. So you out a touch more. And we'll brave nap time. Hopefully we get lucky again with her nap and I just wake up right before midnight, but I doubt it. See you guys in a second. Alright folks, so we have woken up at night time. It is only 9 PM though, but that's okay because it'll give us time to learn how to find Witena. Has the wind changed? We seem to be... Oh no. Oh no. We don't want to get stuck in the ocean at sea. Got a bit of a beam reach now actually, but it could be because we have drifted slightly, so... Oh, I think we might be dead in the water. Oh, we're turning slightly. Okay, thinking time. We're going to... Yeah, we've got a beam reach. Pulling the gaff quite a touch. Hopefully get some forward momentum. Is she respond? Okay, she's responding now, so we are moving forward. So we might have stopped dead in the water there, but that's okay. We've got plenty of provisions for that. Just going to try and get her holding east as best as possible. That looks good to me, Jimmy. Head back out, turn on our nightlight. And let's practice finding Witena. So it's going to be very hard with that gaff in the way. So we'll come down here. So to find Witena, quick immersion breaking. Where is it? We want to... So this is the North Star. So we want to find the North Star. And at the end of the M, where the North Star is, we want to go along to the right of the M, up a touch, and we will find Witena's bow. And then we follow the bow shape, remembering that there's 2 stars in the middle, which is another M, and it should be the top one. Close that down. And then we can refer to this. So, let's put that into practice. So we find our North Star, which is here. So we go along from the M and up. There's the start of Witena's bow. So there's our 2 stars. And we can't really see. Can I see the 2 stars from here? The jib is in the way. Okay, we're going to haul up the jib for now, just a touch so that I can see. And there's Witena, I believe. Yep. So we will wait until midnight. We will reference Witena and see how that checks out on our cozy little graph. Just going to make sure we haven't drifted off course by taking in the jib. I suppose I can overcorrect slightly southward since we believe we have drifted northward. Oh, and we're close haul sailing. Out of nowhere. So, make adjustments for that. As I say, I think I prefer close haul sailing anyway. I'm more used to it. And then just see how she holds. Yeah, okay, now that we're close hauling, I believe I can let out our second jib just to pick up on a bit of speed. Pull that in. There we go, they're crossing. I know it's immersion braking, but we're at sea. I'm just going to leave it at that. Apologies to Taryn, who I know is like me and likes everything to be square and neat. But Taryn, this is a matter of survival. Okay, she is oversteering actually now that I've adjusted the jib. So we're actually going to let these both out a touch. There we go, Taryn. We have it looking prettier now in an effort to fight what the boat wants to do. It's going to be scary sleeping tonight if she keeps going off course. Okay, keep her going roughly in that direction because it is coming up for midnight. So if she turns here, I will deal with it. We want to find Witena in time. So there's our M, down and up, the bow. So Witena is... And now I can't see because the jibs. Bow up. I think that's Witena there. So we've got 10 Sailwind minutes to focus on Witena. There it is. 5 Sailwind minutes. Couple of minutes. Okay, now it's time. Focus on. Turn up, and that's reading, what's that, 31? 31 for Witena, if indeed that is Witena. I think it is. So let's deal with that. I'm not actually feeling confident about that. I feel like something's wrong there. Oh, no. We are going off course still. Bonnie, stop it. Oh, and now we're flirting with going dead in the water again. This is what I get for saying I prefer close hull sailing. Okay, raise the smaller jib, keep the larger jib, tighten the larger jib, and that should help. And I hope you've all remembered that it was 31 degrees, because I very nearly forgot there. Right, let's see if that helps us. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so 31 for Witena is -2. So we are still along the -2 line, which we thought we were last time. So I'm actually going to, I believe we're probably more likely about here for the last reading. That's not the correct button. About here, and then I think we've made it here. Why am I still using the wrong buttons? Too much panic. Deep breath. I think we were here, and now we've ended up here. Now I want to check the North Star for our latitude. So following the M, North Star. And our latitude seems to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems just below 2 to me. Or maybe, yeah, just below 2. So, yeah, that would be about right, I think. So I'm happy with that. That's accurate-ish. Okay, and with that, I'm going to take another little Shipwreck Sean break, and I will either be right back with you for those watching the future Big Bonanza, or if not, this is the end of episode 2. So thank you for joining me, and see you guys whenever is appropriate.